Who are the best strikers for every single budget? Today, we will be answering that question, and it's going to be controversial, so let's get started. Criteria: we have expensive value, under 250,000 coins, and cheap, under 25k, maybe an early spoiler. No one on my list costs anywhere near 25,000 coins, so I've got you covered. Stir up the comments, subscribe if you're new. Shall we begin? Let's talk about expensive and the elephant in the room. Kylian Mbappe. Might as well get that out of the way. The true king of the jungle. Mbappe is coming in hurting defenders on a daily basis, and he works doubles on the weekends. And if you're in the pro ladder or you're playing at a Division 1 level, it's almost become mandatory, even this early in the game cycle, to figure out a way or to make an investment to get Mbappe on your side. Di Natale. And I mentioned not including icons, but I will include heroes. Gonna cost you 1.5, 1.6. Price should drop. He has a finesse shot playstyle plus, which makes a world of a difference with that playstyle in particular. Movement, curvature, trajectory, additional extracurricular. I can give you superlatives all day. 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and something that I appreciate, it might be a theme, I like strikers that give you more playmaking capability. They can pass, they can facilitate, they can break down a defender, they have the dribbling, you have some expression, a couple cancellations. I get revved up just talking about it. If you analyze, you break down, you gravitate, they're not newspaper numbers. The shooting in particular, everything is basically over a 90. Di Natale is providing elite level attackerism, and I might have just made up that word. Alvarez, hot off the press. We're talking about the 90 overall Champions League edition, 900,000 coins. He has press proven for a playstyle plus, which is not really ideal. But if you look at the specs, you've got a well-oiled machine. He's explosive, he has natural attacker movements and characteristics, and if you've gone up against him or you've used Alvarez, even the gold version, you've already had a little taste of what's possible, what's on the horizon. You know what you're buying into, your investment, so to speak. He's making the game look easy, it's effortless, and they're not newspaper numbers. There's nothing that's fugazi. You can go through the stats, but the way that he sprint dribbles and separates from defenders and has confidence and cadence and composure, it's all right. That's why he cost a premium. You might lose your apartment, but you picked up a brand new Alvarez. Let's talk about value. Haaland, how could we not? Might have a little bit of a cover star touch up. He's just game breaking in many regards. Haaland still dunks. I'm talking Blake Griffin, Los Angeles Clippers, alley-oops. And in a game with plenty of bus drivers, AI crowding, where do you find the space? You don't. You put it towards Haaland, maybe lob it up to him. Let him be disruptive. Let him be that offensive bulldozer. Call him the construction worker. Give him a rebrand. It's not always pretty. It's not easy on the eyes. And for a couple 100,000 coins, I don't think you're overpaying for what you're receiving. Sammy Kerr. Wow. 120k, finesse shot for the playstyle plus. I would put her finishing up against anyone. And she's a difficult player to properly break down if we're just looking at metrics. The stats are good, but if you're going off each category, you might have questions. But again, if you've used her, you've gone up against her, she is reoccurring in so many competitive teams, not by accident. The return of investment is through the roof. Her ceiling, remarkable. Goal scoring prowess, top notch. She goes above and beyond. I'm never disappointed, and I'm given a direct cosign. Griezmann, right around 100,000 coins. Would not be surprised if that gets even cheaper as promos are released. But he has the finesse shot as well for a playstyle plus. And the way that I feel about Griezmann, he makes the team better. He is a locker room legend. Anywhere in the offensive motion or on the virtual pitch, it becomes more fluid, it's more reactive. Yes, he has some skills, but it's the first touches, and I would argue amongst strikers in particular, he might be the best passer. He's responsible, it's composed. well weighted, there's accuracy, there's validity, he's intentional, silky ball control, the finishing and the long range shooting in particular, the way the ball dips, and I'm getting power shots at different levels. Even his Trivela is just fantastic. I mean, creme de la creme. You will not be disappointed. Cheap options. Remember I told you under 25K? Well, it gets even better. All three of my selections don't even tally 25,000 coins. But before we talk about those, I want to give some Evo shoutouts. I didn't want to spend placements with the Evos, mainly because you've got to pick and choose. But Darwin Nunez, if you take him up to an 84, is just unstoppable. I hate going up against him. I would say the same with Angel Correa, the Angel. Just an attacking nuisance. Even Kolo Muani, if you get him on an upgrade, talk about an Evo that's a through ball merchant. He's winning every chip. He's knocking it down. It's problematic across the board. But now that we've done that, let's get back to the official cheap players you have to pick up, and it starts with Cristiano Ronaldo. And I will say this on record, all of my selections might not be the best for chemistry, but when have you been able to pick up Ronaldo for 11, 12,000 coins? You are paying fodder pricing for a living legend who has one of the best track records on the virtual pitch of all time. 5-star skills, will finish, kind of has that built-in aerial concept or presence or ability, characteristic, role, trait, whatever you want to call it. Before we had playstyles, Cristiano, I was already climbing the ladder a little bit different. And he's still scoring goals for fun in the Saudi league. It's an unbelievable scoring record. Say what you will about the league, but the guy is knocking on the door, 40 years young. Oshoala, we saw her last year. I think I butchered that pronunciation. 8,000 coins as it stands, just overpowered madness. Can you link her? That's the question. Might be a reoccurring question. If you can get the chemistry, you're building out an NWSL team. She's an athlete, pacey, 90 finishing, setting back lines on fire. And if that wasn't enough, add in some skill moves, sprinkle a weak foot, 90 for jumping, 92 for strength on a baseline gold item with this much movement, this much application. I'm not sure why she's not being chatted about more. She is the perfect pro clubs build if you could create a player and cost you next to nothing. Speaking of discount shopping, Chawinga. 84 overall, under 2,000 coins. The aura is real. Birth dates, signs, maybe those are also real. Her 2-star weak foot, unfortunately, we're going to say that's real. But Chawinga absolutely cooks. Chef Chawinga, if you will. Address her properly. The speed, authentic. She's built like an anomaly. Even some similarities to Oshoala. They both end up being primetime super subs. And if anything, you might see both of them used more or less coming off the bench. Game changers, impactful, offensive and offensive, and some of the lightest spend imaginable. Those are my choices. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you're brand spanking new, it is free to subscribe. Highly appreciated. And we'll have a lot more content coming out ASAP.